Hello everybody, welcome to day 1 of Algebra 1 Credit 1. I'll give you a few hints here. These are the hint videos. Okay, I think you guys can handle the introductory video, record your guess about the 100th step, and watch the results video, and kind of was your guess close? You can handle that. Alright, up next we're going to talk about communicating with symbols. So we have these different patterns here, these visual patterns. Here in step 1 there's 1, and then we have 4. So I would really recommend that you put together a table like this and compare the values, how they are changing each step. So in here it looks like it increased by 3, for example. You're gonna go ahead and write what the total number of tiles would be in step 5 and 6, so you can kind of carry that pattern on. And then, can you determine the number of tiles in step 25? So I probably wouldn't, put down every single number up to 25, but you kind of want to see the pattern and make a prediction about how it's going to end up at step 25. And that usually means writing a rule, right? So here it says write a rule to predict the total number of tiles in the step. So you want to have something kind of in terms of n. Are you multiplying the step by something? Are you adding to the step something? So try to think of it in those terms as I talked about in the communicating with symbols video. And on these, so here it has an example of Andrew actually putting together his own rule and Tammy coming up with her rule. So how do these rules kind of fit with that pattern that was back there? So kind of think about that. And you could think about this pattern in terms of a few different ways. You could think of it as, okay, I have this thing and then it's going to grow out 3. It's going to grow out 3. Or you could think of it as I have these 3 branches. So there's a branch here and a branch here and a branch here. But each branch kind of overcounts, right? Like this branch counts that one in the middle, and this branch counts the one in the middle, and this branch counts the one in the middle. So I might say, well, I'm overcounting that one a couple of times. So that might be another way to think about it. Okay. On number 6, for the growing pattern below, each line segment is 1 unit in length. So what that means is this line segment here is 1 unit long. So it's going to talk about the perimeter of the shape. So to find the perimeter, you just add up 1 plus 1 plus 1 6 times. So the first step, there's a perimeter of 6. And the second step, now we don't count the one in the middle, we just count the outside perimeter. So it kind of is discounted. And we have a perimeter of 10, and you can figure out the rest. You're going to come up with a rule for that. So again, check how it's changing each time, and you should be able to come up with a pattern and the rule as the perimeter in terms of n. Okay. Then same kind of thing. Now this one, I think it'll be fixed in your packet, but it should have how much of a fine it is if you keep the book for 10 days. So it's 50 cents times 10 minus 7. So if you keep the book over 10 days, the library fine will be 50 cents for each day over 7 days. So they give you the formula here for the amount of fine that you have to pay. Right? So for 10 days it's that, for 21 days it's that. So you can kind of see how this is really a concrete example of how it would happen in the real world. So you go to the library, you check out a book, you keep it for 10 days. You're only supposed to keep it for 7. For every day over 7, you have to pay 50 cents. So you're going to have to pay 3 times 50 cents. So you're going to pay $1.50, right? And if you keep it 21, then you can subtract 7 off of the 21 because you don't have to pay for those days, but for every day over 7 you have to pay 50 cents, so it starts to add up. So what you're going to do here is create a rule for relating library fines for new books to the number of days the book was kept. Write your rule in symbolic form using F for the fine and D for the number of days the book is kept. So this is what you're going to do. You say F equals, so your fine is equal to kind of this relationship right here. You're trying to now take the concrete and put it into the abstract. So no matter what the number of days, I'm going to put in the number of days here as an unknown quantity that is variable, right? So I can change that quantity to whatever number of days it was that it was checked out. Okay, so that's kind of what you're doing on the rest of these. Is you're going to kind of look at the concrete example, and here they talk about an amusement park charges $25 for daily admission. The park operating expenses is $35,000. So you have these tickets, the ticket prices that people are paying. So this is actually kind of a good thing for the company, right? They're getting a daily admission price, so this is a positive. But then the park also has these daily operating expenses, so this is kind of a negative, right? So they have to actually pay this out to keep the park running. So that's kind of a concrete example right here is, if there was 1,000 tickets sold, what is the profit or loss? Like how, did they make money? Did they lose money? And how much? Then you're going to go ahead and put this into a symbolic rule. So you say the profit or loss, whatever it is P, and then the number of paying visitors is N. So how is that related? Like for every customer is going to pay $25. So if there's some number of customers N, how is that related in a symbolic form? And then you're going to do the same kind of thing with the jumbo jet. Do a concrete example and then try to put it into symbolic form. So that's what this is all about, and this is another example of that as well. So really try to put yourself into the situation, circle the things in the problem that are important. Like when I would look at this one, I'd say the cost for a large family reunion include, so this is the cost, $250 for renting the shelter, so this is, and $15 per person, so this is a cost, and that's kind of like a flat rate, isn't it? And then $15 per person, so this is a rate. So I'm gonna have a cost equal to, it's gonna be $250 plus 15 per person. So I need to know how many people, right? So that's gonna probably factor in to my rule, right? And I think it says it depends on the number of people in, right? So go ahead and put that together, and then you're gonna write your kind of reflections. You're going to think about the stuff that you did and write that in your notebook, and just follow these directions right here.